Starts the shake, and they need him. He's taken 436 face-offs this season for Yale. The rest of the team under 50, so he is their lifeline in terms of getting possession and triggering offense.
Andy Shea told us there is no plan B at the face-off X. 57 degrees the game time temperature. The sun, it died early today. And the officials, Brian Abbott, Mike McCloskey, and Peter Buchanan for this championship game.
White, back him off the line. Back the gloves off the line.
A little bit.
White, back him off the line.
Hold your spot. Don't move.
A face-off violation right from the get-go, and it will be Yale ball. That's one face-off violation on Duke, 3.5, and the other team gets a 30-second extra man opportunity. In goal for Duke, Danny Fowler. Duke head coach John Danowski told us Fowler the last 2 weeks has played the best lacrosse of his Duke career. A fifth-year senior. Yale, one of the top scoring teams in the nation. Here's John Danigelis. Boren White. Over to Jackson Morrill, the sophomore, coming off an 8-point game in the semis. Now it's Jack Ty, the junior out of Long Island. Part of that first midfield, and Jack Ty beats Fowler upstairs. Yale on the board first.
This game will come down to matchups. JT Giles Harris on Ben Reeves. Ty gets the short stick midfield defender and shows great speed. He's a high volume shooter, over 100 shots this season, and beats his man with a speed move down the alley.
You've got 4 long sticks out there, 2 shorties. You're going to attack him. And Ty, who's been quiet in the postseason, he was an absolute beast for Yale the first part of the 2018 campaign. He's got some shake, and he can rip it.
A third-team All-American and a first-team All-Ivy League selection.
No. You stay right there. Set.
Mackey and Smith back at it.
Blue ball.
And now a face-off violation on Yale, so one apiece. And Duke has its first offensive possession. Here is Brad Smith, junior from Mountain Lakes, New Jersey. A terrific high school dual-threat quarterback. And in goal for Yale, Jack Starr. Only 6 teams have won a national championship with a freshman goalie in cage. And man standing next to me, Quint Kesnick, is one of those 6, 21 saves in 1987.
Well, Jack Starr is starting in his 19th career game. I don't consider him a freshman anymore.
Nakai Montgomery, a freshman who's been a breakout star in this NCAA tournament, 15 in blue. Now Brad Smith, guarded by Robert Mooney.
First possession, both for an offensive player and defensive. Assessing matchups. How am I being played?
Peter Conley against his short stick. Now the switch comes.
What's the defensive mindset in terms of double teams? Probing.
That's a great matchup. Montgomery against Warner. Montgomery, a breakout star. Warner, one of the best short stick D-middies in the country. Montgomery dumps it off to Conley, the Georgetown transfer. Duke trying to get something going offensively here. Conley in a big shooting slump. Yale causes the turnover.
What matchups can Duke win on offense this afternoon?
Clark, your keys for Yale.
Ben Reeves, the superstar, needs to be a passer Reeves dealing with all the attention and the slides coming early. He's got to have his head up and move the rock and then bring the pain. Defensively, this defense prides itself on being physical in tattooing dudes when they come across the middle of the field. Watch for the close defense for Yale to really bring it.
Brian Tevlin, the freshman, plays it behind the cage to Morrill. Now Lucas Kotler, part of the second midfield for Yale. Kotler over to Tevlin. Checked by Cade Van Raphorst. Van Raphorst named a first-team All-American. Here comes Ty. And now Ben Reeves leads the nation with 111 points. A three-time Tewaaraton Award finalist. Shot upstairs and a score. 2 for Jack Ty.
Hello, Jack Ty. With all the attention on Ben Reeves and Matt Gaudette inside, for the Yale offense to flourish, they need production from their first midfield, and Ty has been phenomenal. As a junior, we saw it on the first goal, and look at the placement, the hip rotation, crushing it.
Duke late to double team as we take a look at the command center.
You can check it out on the ESPN app. Full-time Sky Cam on the left, traditional coverage on the upper right, plus goal cams in each net located lower left and right. Quint, Ty and Danny Fowler have a history.
They both went to Chaminade High School. Fowler's a redshirt senior, so he's 2 years older than him. But that sidearm release on the run, Kark, seemed to give Fowler some issues.
It did. And if you watch Ty and you scout him, a lot of times you see it more overhand, especially with the left hand. But that right hand's his natural shooting stroke, so he can change his release points.
Park with Yale, when they get going early, it can turn into an avalanche. That's the one thing about Yale. If you give them an early lead, boy, you look at some of their goal totals this season, it can get out of hand in a hurry.
Feeding frenzy, and when you're next to them field level, you just feel the energy, and they thrive on the early start. They thrive on physicality.
Yale looking to become the first Ivy League team to win a championship since 2001. Princeton did it. Our colleague Ryan Boyle was a freshman. Saved by Jack Starr. And the outlet up ahead. Jerry O'Connor is knocked away, and Duke gets it back. And there's a flag down.
Blue, 1-2, interference, 30 seconds. Blue, 1-2, interference, 30 seconds. He knocked him down, John. He knocked him down.
Great access. These officials are the fourth member of our crew. You hear the call and then the explanation to John. That's Coach John Danowski.
Penalty on Kevin Quigley, so Yale will have the extra man.
Neither of these teams have done a great job this season staying out of the penalty box. Again, Duke's fast. They press out. They're aggressive. Yale, we've been saying it all day, they like to hit you. They're physical. So we could see a lot of penalties in this game.
Here is Kotler. Now Reeves. Matt Gaudette coming off a 6-goal game. Over to Ty. Kotler. Bounce shot. A little too high. Yale there for the backup. It'll be Reeves to take it out. Reeves, skip pass. Jack Ty looking for number 3 early.
Back to even strength defensively. Now find your matchups. Call out a number.
John Danowski told us yesterday, Duke has good defensive numbers, but against elite offensive teams, and elite offensive players, they've struggled. Gaudette, good look. 3-0 Yale.
They've struggled because of plays like this. On the ball, Duke is a capable defense. They've got athletes, strong fundamentals. They can run hip to hip with you. But off ball, sometimes they're a nightmare. You see the halfway move by Jack Harrington, 21 in blue, and just gives Gaudette too much real estate. That's not the guy that Duke wants shooting from 10 yards.
In the semifinals, Yale jumped out to a 7-0 lead on Albany. The Bulldogs up 3-0 in the championship, 9:13 left in the first quarter.
Out there, please Google those guys and do some homework today.
You saw the back of the Blue Devils helmets opposite the American flag, that small black rectangular box with white font bearing the text JR10 for Jimmy Regan. It'll be Yale ball. 3 possessions for Yale, 3 goals. Here's Warner.
This is tricky territory for Yale, but Reeves is so fast he avails himself because Duke likes to press out early in the possession before you get your offensive personnel on the field.
Reeves against JT Giles Harris. 2 in blue and All-American. His brother, an All-American on the gridiron for Duke. Joey Sessa now to Danagelis. Back to Sessa. Over to Morrill. Morrill had 7 goals in round 1. This attack is so dangerous. Matt Gaudette, part of that unit, and a bouncer is wide. We've seen Ben Reeves explode. He had 5 goals, 4 assists in the semifinals. Morrill had 7 goals against UMass. Gaudette, 6 goals in the semis, and then 7 in the Ivy League semis. Reeves beating Gaudette.
Depth of scoring is a huge team strength.
Reeves again, and a save by Fowler.
Danny Fowler needed that. He comes into this game hot. He told us yesterday, his feet, his eyes, and his hands in sync.
And now this Valkyrian ride by Yale. Their version of the full court press. And Duke able to clear. That's been a big weapon for Yale this season. Quint, your keys for Duke.
Now on paper, Duke has better shooting percentage and save percentage. It's a senior versus a freshman in the goal. Fowler's got to win that matchup. And then clearing the ball versus the 10-man. It's what you just saw. You'll see Brad Smith, 27 in blue, go from attack, and he'll come back to the ball and try to punt return clear.
Here comes Smith. Shot on the run, off the mark. Joey Manown there to back up. And a shot that goes out of bounds in Lacrosse. Possession awarded to the team closest to the ball where it went out of bounds. There's Conley, the Georgetown transfer. That shot hit somebody's helmet, I think. Pops into the air, goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Duke.
You will see Yale dive for all those shots out of bounds today, Anish.
Conley, a terrific outside shooter, but in a big shooting slump. Smith was calling for it on the wing, now gets it. Smith. And Starr covers it up.
There's not a weak link on the Yale defense. Good midfield defenders. Tyler Warner who has the ball right now. They've got a stable of just animal defenders. I mean, they're coming off the bus at 6'2", 205, 215, 6'4". Woo!
The question for them has been goaltending. And if Jack Starr plays well, if he's at 50%, they become almost unbeatable. Here comes Ty. Now Tevlin, the freshman from Livingston, New Jersey. Tevlin to the cage, and a save by Fowler. That's a big one for the senior captain. It'll stay with Yale.
Yeah, Duke seems hesitant to double team. Yale's going to have to score some unassisted goals, it looks like, from the midfield.
Reeves against JT Giles Harris. Reeves a lefty. Here comes Kotler. Checked by Greg Pelton. Now Morrow against McDonough, the Penn transfer. Ty, 2 early goals. Good defense there by John Prendergast. Ty shot bothered. Picked up by Reeves. He's got McDonough. Reeves turns. That one hit the pipe. And Duke comes away with it. Clark, should Duke be concerned that Yale is getting some pretty good looks on goal early?
Yes, and even more concerned from my vantage point. I'm watching Gaudette, 44 and white. He's kind of playing with that inside defender and just waiting for the defender to show a little bit and help out on one of the other 5 defenders on the Duke side of the field, and Gaudette makes his living inside. So I think he's going to get some opportunities in these next few possessions, 44 and white.
Quigley against Kotler. Quint, what's the matchup here for Duke?
Well, I think it's got to be from the midfield. And this second midfield, you know, it's going to be against a shorty. Lowry, Sean Lowry seems to be the go-to guy late in the season.
A Foxborough native. When he got the championship weekend, had a Patriots jersey signed by Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft waiting for him.
With Chris Fake taking Justin Guttard in that matchup, I don't like any of Duke's matchups from the attack. I think it's got to be a midfield-driven offense.
Fake has been one of the best defenders in the country, even though he's a freshman. There's a shot to score. Duke on the board. Kevin Quigley.
It's no coincidence that both Yale and Duke have a very serviceable second midfield in an era where teams like running their top 6 out there repeatedly. Kotler just overplays Quigley. Good burst. Deals with the double team. In Super Mo, high release to a low location. Starr was all over that. Went 5-hole. Looks like it actually brushed against his shorts.
I hope it was just the shorts.
Hey, gents, I actually think Quigley dropping that ball initially forced Yale and Kotler to have a poor approach there, and he capitalized.
Mackey and Smith. Mackey injured that right wrist against Albany, and Duke wins it back. Seeing that ride from Yale, and it results in a turnover.
That's juice on their bench. Last half of the season, this ride, it's a 10-man ride, which means it's like a full court press. The formation is 3 across by 4 by 3, and they just clog all the windows in the middle of the field. Their bench starts cheering. They steal possessions.
Here is Ted Forrest, the junior, against Peter Welch. Now Reeves, that's a sweet spot. Saved by Fowler. On his knees, he covers it up. After a slow start, Danny Fowler has made a couple of big saves.
That's his sweet spot, but I don't like the approach by Reeves. He shot that flat-footed.
Over to Brad Smith, and Duke able to clear. Smith all the way to the cage, a bouncer high. Memorial Day baseball on ESPN. Indians and White Sox in Cleveland. Rockies first place in the National League West, hosting the Giants, 3 back in 3rd. Nakai Montgomery for Duke, 15, 8 goals in this NCAA tournament. He had just 6 goals leading up to the tournament. A hat trick in the semis against Maryland. Now Conley. Over to Justin Gutterding. All-time leading goal scorer in Division I. Gutterding feeding inside for Robertson. And it's picked up by Yale. 3 turnovers now in this first quarter for Duke.
John Danowski compared this game to a final exam when he talked to us yesterday. He said, you know, you only have 1 day of preparation. You've got to go back on your learned experiences, both defensively and offensively, in game, as a player, as a leader. What do you see? How are we going to react? Typical season, when teams play every Saturday, there's plenty of time to overcoach and strategize. A lot of these adjustments in game come on the player's shoulders, Anish.
Joey Sessa now against Prendergast. Snakes around X. Back up top to Ty. Quint, when Yale gets midfield scoring, that's a bonus for them. And they've got a couple already from Ty. Shot clock against Yale.
Yeah, that's the trend. When you look at Yale's 3 losses this year, an opening game to Villanova, a midweeker to Bucknell, Ivy League title game to Cornell. The one consistent, they didn't get the complementary midfield scoring. Ben Reeves has been Ben Reeves in every game this year.
How about JT Giles Harris knocking it away from Reeves? Morrill able to pick it up. Now Ty. 5 on the shot clock. Skip inside. Gaudette can't handle it. And a shot clock violation on Yale. Final seconds of this opening quarter. Walsh to Robertson, the freshman from Charlottesville. Gutterding. And time expires. Quigley, the lone tally for Duke. Jack Ty. A couple of goals for Yale. When leading after 1 quarter this season, the Yale Bulldogs.
Corner, I thought we were a little tight, but I thought we started to settle down a little bit. We got the ball to the ground a couple of times. They beat us to the ball. Face-offs were competing, which was a concern. And clearing the ball, you know, we've been, except for that one mistake that we made over here, you know, we've done a nice job against a 10-man.
Where are the favorable matchups for your offense?
Offensively, we've got to be able to be patient, and we've got inside a couple of times. You know, we've got to go with our short sticks against their short sticks.
Thanks, Coach.
64-year-old John Danowski, the Zen master, in terms of his patience and player development.
Duke had the face-off one. Yale gets it. Nice defense there by Tyler Warner. Second-round draft pick in Major League Lacrosse, and now Warner throws it away. This Yale team, 6 MLL draft picks, the most of any team in Division I. Justin Gutterding, quiet in that first quarter. The veteran against the Greenhorn, Chris Fake. 31 in white, the Ivy League Rookie of the Year. We talked to the Yale offensive players yesterday, Kark, and all of them, without hesitation, said Chris Fake was the best defender in all of Division I.
Hard to argue. Really is, Anish. He's a bad man. He's a freshman. He looks like a 30-year-old lumberjack.
Brad Smith. Joey Manown. Shot was blocked. Yale trying to clear it back. We get a flag down. It's going to be against Duke. Delayed penalty against the Blue Devils as Fake brings it across the midline. Kotler fights through a double.
Better have that 4-point chin strap buckled up today and mouthpiece in. Flag down, denoting possession. A free opportunity.
Here comes Joey Sessa. Over to Kotler. Now back to Reeves. Reeves against Giles Harris, side of the net. And now the penalty against Duke. Penalty on Conley, the Georgetown transfer. And Yale will have a 1-minute extra man opportunity.
Brendan Rooney's a threat. He comes off the bench. The lefty from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
A couple of Canadians on this man up. Rooney 46, Gaudette 44. Now Reeves, senior from Macedon, New York. Now you called his number, Quentin. There is Rooney. That is his 9th extra man goal of the season.
The folks from New Haven are here in droves. This was ridiculous execution. I mean, pinpoint passing. One cradle and a pass. In the stick, boom. On the money, cradle and a pass. Boom to Rooney, who deals with the pressure. He's able to free up his hands. Lefty snipe.
Gaudette is the inside guy, so when he caught it, everyone crashes to the middle of the field because they're so fearful of him finishing. When he kicked it back outside, the Duke defense broke down, and then it's Rooney. He's a 50% shooter.
He's the hub, so to speak, and if it's a tire and there are spokes, Gaudette's that hub man inside. Concern for Danowski.
There we go.
Quint, the temperatures today, below 60.
Hand off the line.
Does that
Perfect.
dim some of Duke's advantage when it comes to depth?
I think Yale's just as deep. I mean, I was at their practice the end of March, and I started asking Coach, who's that guy? Who's that guy? He's like, well, he's our third pole. He's a second-string attacker. I'm like,
White move!
you got
Two
really good
violations.
players, Coach, and you got a lot of them, too. So
That's 2 face-off violations on Yale, 1 more, and Duke gets a 30-second man up.
Duke had the harder game on Saturday and the late game. But these conditions, Clark, these conditions are ideal for athletes right now.
Oh, beautiful. I mean, this is exactly what you want, especially after Saturday, which was around 90 degrees. It gives them that opportunity to kick it back up again. If you had 2 scorchers in a row, then it's a concern for both, regardless of the depth.
How do we go from 90 to mid-50s? Here comes Lowry. Little hop step. Lowry's shot is high and wide.
Don't settle. If you're Sean Lowry right now, you're the guy. You've got a size advantage over Jason Alessi. Alessi's the faster player, but Lowry's got to attack from a better angle.
Lowry setting the pick for Smith. Pythons around X and shoots it wide.
That was a nice look, and the pick created the separation.
Now Lowry on the invert. Good, saved by Starr.
That's a serious save by Starr, the righty from Washington, D.C., crossing over. He's explosive, and late in the season, Jack Starr had stayed away from some freshman flaws, sometimes that you bring from high school. That's textbook, my friends. Good step towards the ball. You drive that top hand across your body. No rebound. Unbelievable.
4-1 Yale. The 2 Tewaaraton Award finalists, Ben Reeves and Justin Gutterding, scoreless so far. They rank 1 and 2 nationally in points. Here comes Morrill. Over to Forst. Sessa wants it up top. He'll dodge from there. Joey Sessa, 5'5". Now Reeves. JT Giles Harris has done a good job on Reeves so far.
Sessa can give Prendergast some problems in East because of that lack of height. Prendergast tends to be a jammer.
Here comes Tevlin, the freshman. Feeding Gaudette inside, passes off the mark. And because that was a pass, it's a turnover on Yale, Duke ball.
Great box out by JT Giles Harris and a wonderful defensive stand by the entire Duke defense.
Here's the ride again from Yale. Such a weapon. The last 10 games, teams clearing at less than 75%. Duke off the scramble, got it in! A great feed, but a great save by Starr to deny Robertson.
Wow, you guys both know the only time you really have a shot at Yale is if you get to their freshman goalie, and he just made two ridiculous saves.
Left side of your screen, are you kidding me? And Yale wins, he's about 51%. Pipe to pipe, hands, and you just trust your intuition there.
The previous 3 seasons, Yale lost in the first round. Goaltending was a big issue.
Andy Shea telling us we've learned to win games around here without goaltending.
Duke shooting 1 of 11 today. Starr with 4 saves. Here's Morrill. That one hit the crossbar. And Ty to back up the shot. Handsome Dan still hasn't woken up. Maybe he ate too much. Not impressed just yet.
He left his game in warm-ups.
Danigelis. That one kicks back.
Fowler pulled that one right off the goal line. Officials were in a great spot to see it.
Now we get a flag against Yale. Delayed penalty coming on the Bulldogs as Cerrone, the Villanova transfer. Up ahead to Gutterton. Here comes Manown inside and score! And a flag at the end of the play as well.
Joey Manown, known for his quicks. But this play, all because watch Fowler on the rebound now. That ball's going to go in. Wow. Pulls it out of the net. And then Manown torches his man. And Hines, 47 in white, comes up gimpy.
Well, Quinn Hines has had the knee injury all season long. Manown's calling card is his quickness. Hines had a fantastic freshman year for Yale a season ago, but just has not been at 100%. And Joey Manown smelled blood.
We get a timeout from Yale. 8:03 to go, first half. 4-2 Eli's.
And he wouldn't be the first freshman goalie to win a national title. Got some legends on this graphic. Quint Kesnick in '87 against Cornell. It's one of the first championship games I watched as a kid. And the guy in the cutoff sweats was amazing with 21 saves. And John Galloway, the winningest goalie in Division I lacrosse history, won one for the Orange in 2008.
And Duke's first championship, Dan Wigreiser in goal, a freshman. That was 2010. But Quint, you were 21 of 31?
I had a lot of support. I felt really at ease that day playing in the national finals. Clark, I felt a lot more relaxed that day than before the quarterfinals or the semis.
Conley with a rocket wide.
Specialty situations, man up, man down. Going to be a big factor today because this game is going to be so physical. Both these teams foul.
Brad Smith. And Duke has closed to within one.
Five-man zone defense for Yale on the penalty kill. And Brad Smith is a zone buster. From about 15, straight over the top. The change of level, use the big muscles of the legs, torque, and look at that accuracy.
The plant is so aggressive on that shot by Smith as Duke celebrates to get within one. When you're a shooter, if you can get that stride into an aggressive plant with that front foot and rotate the power in your body, and when you're an athlete like Smith, bam!
A first-team All-American who's probably been mistaken for Paul Rabel a few times this weekend.
6'3" junior out of New Jersey. He's got that beard now, loves his golden retriever.
It's the Rabel look.
And he's had moments this year where he's just taken over games. Carolina had 4 goals against their zone. Loyola's second half, he was dominant. First round against Villanova, 4 assists. Paul, he can do it all. Shooting, dodging, and assists.
Duke has withstood that early Yale storm. Bulldogs got 3 quick ones in the first quarter. And now we get a second face-off violation on Duke. So each team has 2. One more, and it's a 30-second man up. Jack Ty down the alley. Now Morrill, he can score, he can feed, had 5 assists in the semis to go along with a hat trick. Here comes Ben Reeves. Now picked up by a short stick. He'll try to isolate Lindsay. There's the help. Reeves to tie! Oh, Jack talk tie. That's 3 goals for the junior.
When Ben Reeves has the ball, it's conflict territory. He's got the speed dodge, but he's got the eyes and the vision of an elite point guard. So right here, he's got the short stick on him. So Duke is so concerned with the slide, and Tide knows that his man is going to slough down adjacent to help out Reeves. That's going to give him the freedom to have some giddy up.
You see the importance of the picking game to change the matchup, to free up Reeves, who's being covered by JT Giles Harris. They change the matchup, then the pressure's on the defense to double team and rotate.
Miles Jones, the former Duke great, an All-American midfielder, won 2 national titles with the Blue Devils. Watching on the sideline. That's going to be a hold on Yale, so Duke gets the ball. Gutterding and Reeves were quiet, but both have assisted on the last goal for the respective teams. There is Nakai Montgomery wearing Miles Jones' old number 15. Those two have become friends. Jones has become a mentor to the freshman Montgomery. Here comes Smith. Robertson didn't get much on that shot. Now Jason Alessi, who also plays football at Yale, a defensive back. Had a couple of punt return touchdowns in his career as well. Jack Ty has been the first half star. 3 goals on 5 shots for Yale. He's got it. "35 goals on the season. Tie marked by Cade Van Raphorst. Now back to Alessi against Cerrone. Alessi spins loose. Bounce shot hits somebody's foot. Fowler snags it out of the air. Quick outlet to Welch. Let's see if Duke has something unsettled. Here comes Welch. Welch to the wing. Robertson, top shelf. 47th goal of the season for the freshman from Charlottesville.
Duke will punish you if you take bad shots. Alessi's bouncer, an easy stop and great rebound control. Fowler comes out firing to Welsh. Great handle by the pole. Duke strikes in transition. Reaction, boom.
He loves it. He loves it. I'll tell you what, Quint, you and I talked before the game. We said Yale is so tight on 6-on-6 defense. Duke has to take chances in transition.
Getting runouts off of made saves, and Fowler's ability not to give up rebounds is going to be critical.
Mackey and Smith, and Mackey wins it for Yale. Now Warner had a clear path over to Morrill. To Reeves. Andy Shea, the Yale head coach, got this Yale machine really going in 2010. A commitment to recruiting tough players. He told us he would ask high school coaches, who's your toughest guy? And give me an example of that toughness. Then Reeves. He checks those boxes. Reeves with a bouncer wide. Reeves told us yesterday he was ready to go to Hobart. Grew up a big Syracuse fan. Had no idea who Andy Shea was when he got that recruiting phone call. Danagelis. Up top, Kotler. Now Tevlin. Tevlin gets the pick from Gaudet. Kotler from the wing. Switching hands. That one hits the pipe. Bounces back into the restraining area. Danagelis able to vacuum. Pelton knocked it loose. And Tevlin emerges with the ball out of the scramble.
That's the muscle. You see the hit? Pelton did a great job, 19 in blue, getting that ball on the carpet and looked like he was going to get out of dodge with the ball in his cross. Not so fast. This Yale team spends more time in the weight room than any team in the country. Their focus on strength and nutrition is without peer.
And they tailor those workouts individually to each player. Here comes Ty. Didn't get a chance. Van Raphorst got his stick on it. Another ground ball, and Yale has it again. Gaudet.
Anish, you mentioned they tailor all these workouts. These guys in the offseason have to take pictures of every single meal they have. They log all their workouts. Remember, Jackson Morrill told us heading into his freshman year, he took a couple pictures of things he thought were healthy to eat, and his response from some of the seniors, we don't eat like that.
Take it down off the site.
Gaudet couldn't handle the pass. And we get a timeout from Yale.
It was a good look at Andy Shea. Wanted the psychology major at Lemoyne. Wanted to become a lawyer, Anish. Ended up head coach of Morrisville Junior College, where he recruited a guy by the name of John Grant Jr.
Pretty good.
And then followed John Grant Jr. to Delaware and then UMass, crediting Bob Schillinglaw and Greg Cannella for his development.
Andy Shea also told me when I spent some time with him this season, when I asked him, who were your role models in coaching? without question, right away, he said his father. His father passed a couple of years ago, but he was so instrumental in terms of the way that he coached. He was a basketball coach growing up, never coached lacrosse, didn't know much about it, but his command with his team and his ability to really translate the X's and O's and get the most out of each and every one of his players is what really resonated with him. When he was a kid, he wanted to be a coach just like his dad.
One of 7 children. He said the difference for this program was when they started focusing on themselves, and that all started again back in 2010. The DNA of Yale lacrosse really changed. The NBA Finals start Thursday night, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on ABC. It'll be LeBron and the Cavs against the winner of Houston and Golden State. LeBron in his 8th straight NBA Finals. And there is the LeBron of lacrosse, Paul Rabel. You rarely see him on camera.
You see Yale's toughness in terms of effort. They dive for shots. They're willing to block shots. They love the confrontations and the fury of the ground ball battle. And this has been a process that's taken about a decade to build. Attention to detail. When you go to one of the practices, there's a lot of time spent on the individual, improving the individual skills.
And 2 guys that improved by going head-to-head against each other, Ben Reeves and Chris Fake. Here's Sessa. Sessa squeezes inside, and it's 6-4 Yale.
The junior is only 5'5", but that's why he's a matchup problem for this Duke defense. Look at his change of direction and his ability to get underneath these defenders and then pay the price. You talk about courage. Watch what he deals with here after he releases this ball. I'm taking this ball to the heart of the defense. I'm getting buried, but turn and rake.
Water bug. And he's absolutely jacked too. A weight room warrior. A guy who actually uses his size to an advantage. You see the approach of the defenders. It's awkward when you have to get low against a guy like Joey Sessa, and his strength in his lower body gives him the ability to never be pushed around.
Mackey wins the face-off for Yale. Now Reeves against JT Giles Harris. Reeves held to just 1 assist in this first half. Had 9 points, 5 and 4 in the semifinal win against Albany.
Mackey becomes an insurance policy of sorts, winning 63% of his faceoffs this year. I think Connor Mackey's the 3rd best Fogo in the country. Prevents opponents from going on runs.
Danigelis. Now Ty, thought about it.
Woo!
Van Raphorst helicopters the stick out of Ty's hands. And the first team All-American emerges with the ground ball.
He left it hanging.
Final minute of this first half, Yale with a 2-goal lead. Duke has never led.
U-view, change of direction. Many times the offensive player will leave it hanging. Boom! Yard sale here in Foxborough.
Timeout, John Danowski, 33.9 seconds to go in this opening half. Coming up on the halftime report, we will break down the first half, reflect on our favorite moments of the 2018 season, and you saw Paul Rabel a few moments ago. You'll see Paul Rabel at halftime too. He and the TLN guys did a little something special for us. That's all coming up at the break. 6-4 Yale in search of its first NCAA lacrosse championship. In the pre-NCAA era, Yale was awarded a share of a championship in 1883, along with Ivy League cohorts Princeton and Harvard. And for Duke, a win today, and the Blue Devils would have their 4th championship all in this decade. And they would define this era the same way that Syracuse defined the last decade and the way Princeton defined the 90s, and Quint, your Hopkins teams, the way they defined the 80s.
It's a high standard. I think this Yale team is built to stick around. Now, Ben Reeves is their superstar player. He's a senior, but everything that Andy Shea has done is for long-term sustainable success.
Kark?
Just in the Duke huddle with offensive coordinator Matt Danowski. The game plan's pretty simple. They know this Yale defense is airtight and so hard to generate offense against. So the matchups have to come from the midfield. So Brad Smith's inside right now. He's about to pop outside. It's Connolly and Smith, 66 and 27.
And they play catch to start. 30 seconds to go in the first half.
Well, you got a zone out of Yale here now on defense. You got a straight 3-3 zone.
Here's Conley, best outside shooter for Duke. Now Walsh. Walsh plays it back to Conley. Gutterding, only one shot this half. Skip pass, Conley moves it around, and a shot wide by Robertson. 4.3 seconds to go.
Back to man for Yale.
Manown will initiate. 4 seconds. Manown feeding inside. It's knocked loose. And the first half comes to an end.
Bulldogs and defensive coordinator Andrew Baxter win that round. Terrific job of mixing and matching your defenses. You've been slow to go.
Halftime stats brought to you by Old Spice. Yale +8 on ground balls. Shots in favor of the Bulldogs as well. Both goalies have played well.
Yeah, Duke opened up shooting 1 of 11. It's been better since. Jack Starr's only got 4 stops. 2 were monumental.
Opening face-off of this third quarter. Duke had it for a moment. And it's out of bounds, and let's check in quickly with Paul.
Just spoke to Matt Danowski, offensive coordinator for Duke. He wants his unit to play faster, strike in transition, and I asked him about the Justin Gutterding Chris Fake matchup, which is won by Fake in the first half. He said, we're going to go after Fake more in the first half with Gutterding, so expect the senior, 14 in blue, last half of his career, leave it all out there and attack the freshman Fake. Will he prevail? Well, not many have against this kid.
I like this adjustment we're seeing right here with Reeves in front of the goal.
Ben Reeves 0 for 5 shooting in that first half. The 2-time Ivy League Player of the Year. Here's Dan Angelis. Stars have been quiet. Reeves and Gutterding, just 2 combined points each with an assist.
We'd also like to see Reeves run off some picks, maybe change the matchup.
Now Reeves catches on the wing, flips it to Morrill. Morrill against McDonough. Back up top to Reeves. Against JT Giles Harris. Reeves with the bouncer, and he's on the board with his first goal.
Hey, Quinn, you called it. Little change of pace with Ben Reeves, who's so accustomed from attacking from behind. Well, take the defender, JT Giles Harris, out of his comfort zone. He's used to defending attackmen behind the cage, and then with Reeves around goal line extended with that lightning speed. So now Reeves takes him up top, and he's in no man's land. He's not accustomed to being up there against a guy like Reeves. And when you watch the scout report and you throw on the tape against Reeves, that's not where he typically dodges from.
Acceleration and uncommon straight line speed.
A molecular, cellular, and developmental biology major. He told us when he first got to Yale, the academic rigors intimidated him. Got a 41 on a chemistry test as a freshman. Maybe the best student athlete in all of college athletics with what he's done on the field and in the classroom. A 3.9 GPA, Wants to be a doctor, wants to go to med school. The senior captain with a chance to lead Yale to a championship, and then post-grad wants to cure cancer.
He's challenged himself on and off the field many times. The thing that suffers is sleep.
Peter Conley's shot saved by Starr, his 5th.
Terrific rebound control by Keating. 11 in white's a vacuum cleaner around the crease.
Tyler Warner, 5 in white, also wants to go to med school. The NCAA championships continue with the Women's College World Series. That begins Thursday at 12 Eastern on ESPN. That's at noon.
That's a subtle, successful clear by Tyler Warner. He's being hounded. Senior from Baldwin, Long Island, is going to live on the island, commute to New York City, work in a hospital for 2 years, and then go to med school.
Tevlin against Van Raphorst, picked by Alessi. Back to Reeves. Or dodge again from up top. Reeves, Tevlin, shot and score! Ben Reeves scored, and now he's the catalyst.
Handsome Dan, a.k.a. Walter, enjoying it. Andrew Stimmel, Yale's offensive coordinator, has come up with a great wrinkle. You'll see the pick and slip right here. Tevlin slips to space, and he is king of the wing with a rip.
Gotta love Ben Reeves and the patience. The superstars always allow the game to come to them. He knows when he's dodging, there's going to be help from the Duke defense. And then he spots Tevlin, who struggled this season. In terms of their regular offensive players, he's got the lowest shooting percentage, and he's only a freshman, but he delivers in a huge spot.
Tevlin was 2 for 16 shooting coming into championship weekend. Largest lead of the game for Yale. Mackey wins the faceoff, plays it back, but right back to Brian Smith of Duke, and the Blue Devils have it. And now let's see if Justin Gutterding can get going, 14 in blue. Duke has never led. Yale jumped out to a 3-0 lead. Duke got it to 5-4. But 3 straight by Yale. And it's a 4-goal game. Gutterding against Fake. Got the pick. Picked up by Renz on the switch. Walsh coming around top side of the save by Starr. If Jack Starr is going to be at 60% Yale, almost unbeatable, Quint.
I love the execution from Duke. They got the matchup change, the quick ball reversal, everything but the finish. Felt the shooter could take an extra step to greatness.
And a penalty coming against Duke.
Hey, 42. You got 42.
2 fouls on the play, both on blue. Same player, 4-2, offsides, 30 seconds. Second foul, 4-2, 1 minute slash.
Duke going to do some time in the box, and when you watch this Yale extra man, Ty has shown that he's a lethal outside shooter. Matt Gaudette, 44 in white, will start from the outside and eventually get to the inside. I feel because of the fact that Yale has shown they can shoot from the perimeter, Gaudette's going to have some looks here inside.
Handsome Dan's going to have to wake up soon. His team's got a 4-goal lead. And now man up. Reeves with the step. That one just wide. Morrill is there for the backup. Morrill from the wing, back to Ty, who's got 3 goals. Now Kotler Couple of assists in the first half for Kotler. Great feed by Reeves, the vision, and he finds Gaudet on the crease. Ben Reeves has had a hand in the last 3 goals for Yale.
I just felt it. These guys are pressing the perimeter, and that's all Gaudet wants, because he is automatic. And Reeves has the confidence in the sophomore from Canada to jam it inside. The hands, the snappy release. Matt Gaudet.
Back to even strength after the man-up goal, the second EMO goal for Yale. And Reeves, after a little bit of a slow start, a goal and 3 assists, and he's had a hand not just in the last 3 goals, but 4 of the last 5.
He threw that one through sticks.
Loose as water, 20 seconds ahead of everybody else. Here's Smith off the faceoff. Gutterding trying to get free, and Justin Gutterding, the answer for Duke. Blue Devils needed that, Quint.
Off the face-off, Smith to space. Yale wings are taking an offensive approach, and great job by Gutterding there. The subtlety of that play is catch and step upfield. So Keating's motion takes him at Gutterding, and Gutterding steps around that approach. And there is Gutterball.
More goals than anybody else in the history of Division I lacrosse. A Tewaaraton finalist this year, 3 50-goal seasons. He's now scored a goal in 47 consecutive games. You just run out of superlatives with the resume that he's had at Duke. And as a senior getting to this stage, that cements him as one of the all-time greats for the Blue Devils.
It's his will. It's his determination. It's his work ethic behind the scenes, whether it's wall ball, extra time shooting on the goal.
And Cart, Brian Smith, the face-off man, had the assist there. John Danowski speaks highly of Smith's offensive ability outside of just being a face-off get-off guy.
He loves him. You know, old school midfielders weren't face-off specialists. They played offense, defense, could muck it up at the X in the middle of the field, and he would epitomize what an elite midfielder back in the day would look like, would play like, and he's in no rush to get him off the field. When he's on offense, he's got the green light to stay.
Danowski told us Smith could be a 4th attackman, could be a man-up specialist. Here comes Alessi. Slips it inside. Gaudet stays with it and scores. The hat trick for Matt Gaudet, who scored 6 times in the semifinals.
The righty is typically a catch-and-shoot attackman in the slot. But this time, watch how he uses his body, and Duke's defense is just too passive. There's a lot of stick there. There's no body. And the Undertaker makes him pay.
You ain't kidding, Quint. What impressed me about this goal is it looks like he's going to shoot it right away, but he capitalizes off of a poor approach by Duke, and there's one guy inside you can't give an inch to if you're Duke. His name's Matt Gaudet. He wears 44, and he's
resolved and be a part of the event out there in Israel. Here is Connor Mackey.
He is stubborn. He's like Shrek. Look at him, how big he is.
Mackey trying to play keep away and turns it over. Here comes Duke. Unsettled opportunity for the Blue Devils. Smith thought about it. Plays it back to Gutterding, or rather Robertson.
Duke has not had answers in the 6-on-6 sets. If you break down their 5 goals in each, 1 extra man, 1 fast break, 1 off a face-off. They've only scored 2 6-on-6 goals.
Kai Montgomery back in for Duke. He's had a sensational NCAA tournament. Has not been a factor today, though. Has not been on the field all that much. Montgomery, Gutterding, shot, a save by Starr. The freshman from D.C. having himself an afternoon. 6 saves now. Yale turns it over on the clear. Here comes Duke. Chance to push in transition. Robertson. And Yale gets back. Smith against Warner. Smith with a bouncer. That's wide. And Robertson there for the backup.
I think Smith, 27 in blue's got to be the guy, Anish. He and Conley.
Conley came into this game in a 1 for 27 shooting slump.
Go, Reds. Let's go.
Conley's got it now, 66, guarded by the shorty. Conley's pass tipped. Little English on it. Knocked out of bounds by Duke. It'll be Yale ball. Bulldogs moving it quickly. There's Warner, second team All-American. And we get a warding off on Warner, so Duke gets it back.
You got a tired defense right now if you're Yale. You got to think about playing zone. This is a key possession for Duke.
Smith. Over to Cerrone. Now Gutterding. We'll play it back to Lowry, the Foxborough, Massachusetts native. Sun starting to peek through the clouds.
5 in white, Tyler Warner. He's behind the cage right now. He's gone up and down, up and down. He's gassed right now. Robertson, the attackman, the shorty, has the matchup. He should be demanding the ball.
Instead, it's Smith. Well, they had Robertson for a moment. Now they get it to him against Warner. Robertson changing directions. Smith has the defense hung up. Now Manown will attack Warner. Manown's got a goal today. The sophomore fires and scores. Kark, you called it. That was the matchup for Duke. They exploit it.
Guys, we've been watching Tyler Warner all season. He's a warrior, an incredible athlete, always in a ready position. But watch as Joey Manown attacks him. His shoulders are slumped. His feet are in quicksand. He's toast.
Back and forth, back and forth. That's why, if I were defensive coordinator on that possession, Anish, I'm going zone. My defense is tired. My shorties are gassed. I got to pack it in, sit in my 3-3 zone, and catch my breath. You can't ask Tyler Warner to play that much defense and expect him to be effective.
And now this face-off, another chance for Duke. If Brian Smith can win this, another chance to attack a tired Yale defense and cut into this deficit. Mackey jumped. And now a flag against Yale, so Duke will go man up. I think Mackey may have uttered a couple of words.
White foul, 2-1, unsportsmanlike conduct, full time for a minute.
That's an unreleasable penalty, so that means if Duke scores a goal here in this minute, they'll still have the extra man advantage until that minute has elapsed completely.
Here's the initial violation. The ball is placed in between the crosses. The official backs out.
Mackey seemed to have said something, Kark, as he was walking off the field.
And they've given him a couple warnings. The refs have had enough.
Yeah, he was upset at the violation, guys. His temper got the best of him after the violation. And I didn't see him flinch or move early. Now, maybe Brian Abbott, the official, told him to move off the line or slide left, please.
Smith, saved by Starr. The rebound is loose. Hines had it for a moment. Gutterding retrieves. 7 saves for the freshman Starr. Gutterding. Gets it back from Smith. At least that was the plan. But Mooney knocked it away. It will stay with Duke. 4 seconds on the man up.
Mooney's got that wingspan, 28 and white. The righty, 6'4". A lot of range.
Back to even strength. Ball loose in front of the cage. Contact. And we get a flag.
Wow, fans can't believe it. This was a wicked hit. I didn't see anything wrong with it. And that's what these fans, the replay will show us. This is Yale lacrosse, especially in the slot.
Wait. 4, 5, push. 30-second technical foul.
He's a football player in the fall. I could see it. Yep, cut him just in the back of the shoulder. Fans didn't like it. That's a tough call when it happens so fast. Look at the goalie. Jack Starr have his legs cut out from under him.
So Duke will go man up. 49% with the extra man this season. It's been one of the better units in the country.
Offensively, get the ball inside or work for a skip or through pass.
Conley. That's a flag. An easy call. Conley scores anyway. The pendulum is swung.
This game's going to open up now as fatigue sets into both teams. Fatigue leads to fouls. You stop playing defense with your feet and you use your stick. Right here, Aiden Hines. Clearly a holding call, and Connolly, left-handed, breaks out of that shooting slump.
Aiden Hines is hurt. Quinn, hit fouls because it was a desperation move.
The goal negates the penalty, but Duke is closed to within 3 after Yale had built up a 5-goal cushion earlier in this quarter. And if you're Duke and Smith can keep winning faceoffs, boy, you start to put the pressure card on this gassed Yale.
Some of their two-way middies, like Tyler Warner, who's about 15 yards from me right now, he's been on the field nonstop. He's a wing guy right now, so if Mackey has to use the wings, how much do these guys have in the tank?
Mackey had to use the wings. Duke comes away with it. Welch. Just a few minutes ago, it looked like Yale was on the verge of running away with this. Penalties have changed the equation. Yale still bringing the ride. Is this the right call, Karp, with a tired defense?
I think it is. It's what they do.
And Duke able to clear despite the pressure. Sports Center tonight after Giants Rockies on ESPN. They'll have updates from Game 7 between the Warriors and Rockets. A look at the NBA Finals matchup once that's settled. And plus what happened with the Astros and Yankees. Justin Verlander going for Houston ALCS rematch. Skip pass. Quigley fires and scores. 3 unanswered for Duke.
Yale is going to have to go deeper into their roster of short stick defensive midfielders. And meanwhile, the Duke Blue Devils' second midfield unit has had more success than the first. Quigley's got a pair of goals. A gorgeous seam pass by Sean Lowry, the Foxborough native. And Coach Dino celebrates.
You can also check out today's championship game in our Command Center presentation. That's available on the ESPN app. Got the Skycam on the upper left, traditional coverage on the upper right, plus goal cams in each net. The angle you prefer is at your command. And Yale was in command of this game, Quint, 10-5. They opened this third quarter on a nice little run, and then Duke has come back, aided by some penalties. Brian Smith winning faceoffs. Clearly Connor Mackey not close to 100% at the faceoff X for Yale.
That's a big deal because every possession is a body punch, so to speak. And on a hot day, you're playing your second game in 3 days. Those add up. And so face-off wins are more than just one possession. Body shot, body shot, body shot. We've seen both teams now show signs of fatigue, and this game's going to open up.
That last goal was assisted on by Sean Lowry, the Foxborough, Massachusetts native. Big Patriots fan, so when he got to championship weekend, there was a Patriots jersey with his name literally waiting for him. And the signatures you see, Robert Kraft, the New England Patriots owner, and Bill Belichick, the Patriots head coach.
At 6'3", 205, with confidence, Sean Lowry is a strong offensive player, whether he's dodging to score for himself or kind of posting up a smaller defender and able to see over the defense. So I just said, I think Duke's second midfield right now is almost a better offensive option with the way Lowry and Quigley are playing.
I like the timeout by Andy Shea. Quint, you mentioned body shot, body shot. Duke just threw an uppercut too, and you go in that Yale huddle. You could just tell they're on their heels a little bit, but Andy Shea calmed his group down. And Quint, you mentioned they weren't going to change out of a 10-man ride to full court press. That's who they are. They do not change anything. They're going to attack regardless of how much gas they have in the tank.
Mooney had it off the face-off, then has it knocked away and lost it. And it's going to be Duke ball once again, so the Blue Devils back on the offensive.
All the hustle plays. Kark, you played in big games like this. There are moments where it feels like an avalanche and the world is crashing around you, the noise, the fatigue, and all of a sudden things aren't going your way. Those are the moments where experience and poise come in handy. Yale's never been in this situation before. Duke's coaching staff has.
Yes. I mean, John Danowski's looking for his 4th national title of the decade, and when you get in spots like this, every ground ball is not created the same. You feel the tension in the building.
Here's Conley looking for Smith. He throws it away. Starr gets it for Yale. Now Starr under pressure, double teamed. The freshman has it poked loose. Smith has it. And we get a loose ball hold on Duke, so Yale gets it back, and now the Bulldogs have to possess the ball here. 4 straight turnovers for Yale.
You are exactly right, Anish. Clock and score awareness right now.
Less than 2 minutes to go in this third quarter. Go back to Duke's 2013 championship. Brendan Fowler, with his team down, started winning face-off quarters, Kark, and they were able to come back from a big early deficit against Syracuse.
It's the ultimate equalizer.
Cutler cashes in for Yale, and the Bulldogs able to get some of the momentum back. It's 11-8.
Duke's defensive game plan has been to stay at home and make Yale score unassisted goals from the midfield. They don't want to leave 44 Gaudet. They don't want to leave Reeves too. And so these midfielders have to dodge with a mindset of, I'm going to beat my man and score a goal. Kotler left-handed, the sophomore from Syosset, singes the net.
When Pendergast reached over with that back check, he lost his hips. And Kotler realized that was the time to change his direction and get down the alley. He had 2 or 3 steps once Pendergast was out of position there.
Duke comes away with the ground ball off the face-off. They'll clear it back. Now the pressure by Yale. Yale in its ride. Walsh gets past Weitzel. Handle it. One minute to go in the third quarter. Yale has led by as many as 5. Smith against a tired Warner. Inside, Gutterding! And it's 11-9.
Credit Justin Gutterding, who's going against Chris Fake, only a freshman, but the premier lockdown defender in college lacrosse right now from the close defense position. So you find other ways to score. You get creative with your off-ball movement. You sense a collapse defensively in terms of the communication and the poise of the senior. He's hit the back of the net more than any player in college lacrosse for a reason.
66th goal of the season, second today for Justin Gutterding, a first-team All-American and a Tewaaraton Award finalist. We have seen 10 goals scored in this quarter, 5 by each team.
This game's opened up now. Fatigue makes cowards of us all, Anish.
30 seconds to go. Mooney's pass picked up by Alessi on a hop. Alessi all the way. Bouncer! Jason Alessi!
This is fun. I mean, are we having fun yet? These guys are just going back and forth and back and forth. I can't wait till the fourth quarter. Look at Alessi. I mean, you've come this far. Don't turn back now. Use the earth. High bouncer under the pipes. What a great shot by Alessi.
The onslaught of goals in this quarter put so much pressure on these two Warriors facing off right now. Mackey for Yale and Smith for Duke. How much gas do they have?
We're going to find out. 27 seconds until the fourth quarter. Mackey wins it. 20 seconds. Now Reeves. A goal and 3 assists today. One of the all-time greats in college lacrosse, Ben Reeves. Tornadoes inside. That was a shot going far sideline. And Duke ball with 2.9 seconds. McDonough chucks it downfield. An exciting third quarter comes to an end. Clark should just come out to mid-bananas.
You know, it felt like Duke kind of gained the upper hand. The reality is, though, that Yale has a bigger lead now than they had at halftime. But, you know, the game just opened up. The tempo changed. I love the coaching here and Shea and Coach Danowski. It's a go-for-it mentality. It's not a hold the ball and throw it around the outside.
Anish Shroff, Quint Kesnick, Paul Carcaterra with you. The final 15 minutes of regulation in this 2018 college lacrosse season. Yale has never trailed in this game. They've led pretty much wire to wire. Jack Ty, 3 goals in the first half for Yale. Bulldogs have led by as many as 5. It was 6-4 Yale at the half. Bulldogs reaching championship weekend for the first time since 1990. First appearance in an NCAA championship game. We've had 3 first-time champions this decade. It started with Duke in 2010. Here comes Tevlin. Tevlin jarred loose. Van Raphorst has it. The son of an Arizona State quarterback who played in a Rose Bowl. Now Cerrone. Justin Gutterding. Can he get going? Guarded by Chris Fake.
Are you hurt?
He's
Fall down
hurt.
if you're hurt.
He's hurt.
And Gutterding runs off. Clark down on the sideline will check.
Gutterding is holding his midsection. It looks like Fake 31 in white. When he checked Gutterding going for the stick, hit him right in the midsection. He's in pain.
Here
He'll be
comes
back.
Lowry.
He'll be back.
And this game, Justin the Determined, you can bet on it. Lowry against Angelis. Back to Smith. Against Mooney. Smith gets the pick. Smith inside on the crease. Loose ball. Who wants it? Duke has it. Manown.
Easy now.
Now Montgomery calling for it. He's been quiet today. Nakai Montgomery turns it over. Smith, the intended target.
Tyler Warner, the senior, has won that matchup against the talented freshman from Dallas.
0 shots for Montgomery, who is one of the hot this 2018 playoff run for Duke. Warner has been blanketing him.
Here comes Kotler.
Duke pressing out. You cannot take a deep breath on offense.
Kotler's had a nice game. A goal, 2 assists.
It's like press man-to-man coverage. You know, a corner on a receiver. Duke challenges every inch of real estate.
Here's Ty with the sun splashing down. Now Morrill gets the pick from Reeves. Alessi. See a shot clock coming soon, Q?
Maybe 2 more passes and then yes.
Peter!
There you go. Nice job, Anish. You hear it.
Shot clock! Shot clock! Shot clock!
There's the shot clock. 30 seconds to get a shot on goal. It's got to go in, hit the goalie, or hit the pipe. $15 to shoot. Kotler stumbling. Less than 10. Now Morrill, he's been quiet today. Morrill, saved by Fowler. That satisfies the shot clock, but for Duke, another big save by the 5th-year senior. And Yale staying with that ride.
That was a save that Fowler had to make.
Justin Gutterding back into the game for Duke.
Morrill hit him with the question mark. Changed his levels. The velocity probably wasn't what he wanted. And then you see the goalie. Watch the lefty. Tomahawk chop the head of the stick. Boom, straight down between the legs. Cover up your rebound. Well done by the redshirt senior. Just one he had to make, Anish.
Seeing a bit of a calm after that tempestuous 3rd quarter. Moving pick. Yale ball. Lob to Renz.
Seems like Brian Abbott, the referee with the red armband, is making every call now here in the second half.
Get the sense both teams almost trying to catch their breath here early in the 4th. Yale sitting on a 3-goal lead. Forrest was looking for Tevlin, now directing traffic. Tevlin looking for Sessa against Pelton. Here comes Joey Sessa. Sessa using that speed, 5'5", great quickness. As Clark mentioned, he uses his size to his advantage. Another shot clock on Yale. Reeves, the bouncer is wide, 22 to shoot.
JT Giles Harris on defense. He's a complete defender now. Dramatic improvement from his freshman year.
He's Duke's best close defender. Morrill trying to play it back to Gaudet. How about Matt Gaudet? That's his 10th goal of championship weekend.
Hey, good shot, Clark.
That's a stinger, and Coach Danowski knows it. Gaudet's money in the bank. The Undertaker. See those eyes? But watch Morrill, how strong he is on the corner. Takes his man up to the island. Turns, deals with pressure in the double team. Eyes are up while being covered. And puts a strike right on a 44 stick.
Cerrone, number 6 in blue, was guarding Gaudet. I didn't think McDonough was beat. He's the last guy you want to slide from. If you give 44 in white, an inch inside, he cans it, let alone 3 feet.
Right, just back him off, blue, back him off the line. There you go.
Hey, 2 left. A little bit, man. 2
Gaudet
left.
here in Foxborough, 10 for 13 shooting. And a big face-off now with Yale up by 4, 8:11 to go. Handsome Dan can sniff that first championship. Face-offs now even at 13 apiece. Clark, how about Connor Mackey battling with one arm?
Absolute animal. And when he comes off the field, he is so driven and expects so much from himself. I mean, you just see the fire in this guy's belly. He's the last guy probably on this field that I want to meet in a dark alley if I had some trouble. I'm going to be honest with you.
You'd want him on your side in the dark alley.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he looks like one of those movie characters, like an Irish boxer from the 1800s.
Third-team All-American, Connor Mackey. Here's Jack Ty. He's got 3 goals, all in the first half. Now Alessi. Alessi had a big goal at the end of the third that made it 12-9 as we get another shot clock on Yale. Third this quarter. Sessa against Welch, 20 to shoot. Here comes Morrill against McDonough. Feeding inside. That will satisfy the shot clock. And now we're going to get a push on Duke, so Yale will retain possession. Brand to go, and
Big.
with a 4-goal lead, you can run some more clock.
Well, here comes the defensive pressure from Duke. They're pressing out adjacent, denying easy transitions, and really overplaying the ball. ACC speed right now, but Yale out of the Ivy League, not backing down.
Here comes Ben Reeves. Yale looking to become the first Ivy League team to win a national championship since 2001. When Ryan Boyle found BJ Prager in overtime to lift Princeton over Syracuse.
But the knock on the league has been, great skill, smart players, but just not athletic enough to compete with the ACC in championship weekend.
And Andy Shea told us he wants that perception to persist. He said, let people think. You want to beat up on nerds? Okay. And then you see Yale walk off the bus. They look every bit the part of Goliath that some of these other top teams do.
Revenge of the nerds. Shot clock's got to come back on right now.
Tevlin. Shot clock is back on, but Yale was about to kill a minute before that shot clock came back on.
That prior call cost Duke a minute. of time in this game.
5.5 to go, 15 to shoot. Ty. Rolling back. 5 to shoot. Ty by Reeves, a grounder saved by Fowler. Duke gets it back. We come up on 5 minutes to play in this national championship. Duke looking for that 4th title in school history. All 3 have come this decade. Memorial Day baseball. Rockies and the Giants tonight. What's the formula here for Duke? Quint.
Smith and Gutterding. 27 and 14 in blue.
Conley rolls back. Over to Gutterding. Skip pass. Walsh, he's had some big goals for Duke. Now Smith against Danigelis. Nowhere to go for Smith. Picked up by the pole on the switch. Yale's defense standing tall. Shot is blocked. Back to Smith. He can't handle it. Huge ground ball.
Robert Mooney of Yale does just a fantastic job of keeping the ball going in his way. But out of the Duke defensive zone, they come up with the key grounder, and they're off to the races. The freshman Robertson in transition.
We take a look at the Capital One Cup standings as teams compete for a combined $400,000 scholarship donation from Capital One. Huge face-off here for Duke. Down by 3, and they will face off 6-on-5. Yale has won the last 4 face-offs. A 1-minute man advantage for Duke. Smith against Mackey. Conley grabs it for Duke. Three and a half to play in regulation. Duke has never led. Brad Smith to Lowry. Now Conley. Behind the cage, Robertson. He plays it to Manown. Conley. Bounce shot and a score. And Duke has closed to within 2.
Credit Justin Gutterding for the assist because he's an absolute sniper from the lefty wing. So Yale decides to shut him off and deny the ball. You see 14 in blue is being denied. He ends up going inside. And then Connolly knows he's the next man in rotation in 66 in blue, who's been in a shooting slump. When he's hot, he's one of the best midfield shooters in the game. He cans it.
That was well defended, quite honestly. Yale stays in their box formation. The shot comes from outside the structure of the defense, but the bouncer pinged the post. Unbelievable accuracy.
Let me see some tape, White.
Back to even strength after Duke's third extra man goal.
Perfect. Stay right there.
Yale has led by as many as 5 in this second half. And there's Mackey. He had it for a moment. Warner comes away with it. And Starr will set up the clear for Yale. Big clear for Yale as Sessa touches up. Now Reeves.
I got to see Ben Reeves handling the ball as much as possible, two and white, because of his blinding speed. He can run away from pressure.
2.5 to go in regulation. Yale looking for that first championship in school history. And a shot clock against Yale. That one came quick. 5 shot clocks on Yale in this fourth quarter. They're trying to take this lead all the way to the end. 15 seconds to get a shot on goal. Here's Ty. Fakes the pass. Ty shoots wide. Shot clock at 8. Reeves will trigger. Less than 2 minutes to go. 5 to shoot. Reeves, that hit the pipe. That satisfies the shot clock. And Yale gets the rebound. And now Joey Sessa, 5'5", along the end line, stays in bounds. Great effort by Sessa and Yale. We'll try to play keep away as Duke presses out.
Here comes the double team and empty net.
90 seconds to go in this national championship. Here's the double on Morrill. Shot clock on Yale. Morrill sandwiched. And we get a timeout from Andy Shea. 1:15 to go in regulation. The Elis are on the brink.
Eight seconds to go. Give it to the best player in the country, Ben Reeves. The acceleration and burst. Straight line speed like I've never seen. Hitting the pipe satisfies the shot clock, and look at Sessa. Strong lower body control.
Like a ballet dancer. Matt Gaudette, the Undertaker, celebrating. Only a sophomore. He looks like he's about 30. Put the eye black on. You don't want to mess with him either. Women's College World Series games begin this Thursday at 12 Eastern on ESPN. For more information, log on to NCAA.com, the official online home for all 90 NCAA championships. Yale 1 minute and 15 seconds away from their first NCAA championship in college lacrosse. A school that has produced 19 Supreme Court justices, 5 U.S. presidents, 60 Nobel laureates, can now add a men's lacrosse championship to that impressive resume. Kark?
Duke in desperation mode. They'll come out and double, but Yale is actually thinking defensive. They're putting their short stick defensive midfielders, the seniors, Jason Alessi, 45 in white, Tyler Warner, 5 in white, 2 of the best in college lacrosse. So if they do turn over the ball, they have the right guys on the field.
24 seconds on the shot clock, 1:15 on the game clock. Go back to that last sequence, Quint. Hitting the pipe, probably better for Yale than the ball going in.
It's an additional 30 or 45 seconds. Let's see how Ben Reeves handles this. 2 in white. Headed to med school in 2 years. He's going to get a research job in New York City, known for his speed. The double team's coming. He's a lefty. You got to think he's going to work towards his left.
Duke's got its 2 best defenders converging. Giles Harris and Van Raphorst. Reeves gets free and scores! Oh, he didn't score on the empty net. He shot it off the side of the net. And Duke has it with 1 minute to go. Of all the shots he was going to miss, that would be the last one you would think. Now Robertson for Duke. Guttering, firing wide. And Duke there to back up. 43 seconds left. Timeout, John Danowski. Ben Reeves can't believe it. Neither can this crowd. That was almost the dagger.
Been talking about his speed all day long. He gets topside on the double team. JT Giles Harris falls down, and really, I think the reason he missed that, and he says he wasn't really stepping towards the goal. A little bit of a fadeaway. Hits that side of the goal. Great angle from goal cam.
Wow. 43 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Duke still has a chance here.
Yeah, your go-to if you're Duke now has got to be, in my eyes, Justin Gutterding or Brad Smith. The question mark for Yale is, with a 2-goal lead, you can go zone here. I mean, I know that puts a lot of pressure on your freshman goalie, but time's on your side. You go zone, you find the shooters, you keep them on the perimeter.
Kark, you're down on the field in the huddles. What are you hearing?
Yale's not a heavy zone team, but in this situation, you have to expect that could slow down the opportunities for Duke to go one-on-one. Offensive coordinator Matt Danowski, if Yale's in man, look for Peter Connolly to be a big fixture in this play, but he's expecting zone too, so he gave them a zone and a man option.
The 2018 season ending with some high drama in Foxborough.
Looks like a man-to-man defense from Yale right here. Les will drop off this on the whistle and pack it in, but seems like man-to-man, Anish.
Gutterding has it against Fake. Now Brad Smith, 40 seconds. Conley's got a couple of goals against Alessi, the short stick. Robertson to Gutterding. Warner knocked it loose. Gutterding goes down. There's a flag down. And a smart move by Gutterding to throw it out of bounds. Duke will go man up.
Number 5, Yale. Push, 30 seconds. 5, push.
This is really excellent recognition by Tyler Warner. 5 and white. You'll see a crisscross action inside. This is the tail end. Gutterding came off a screen inside, and Warner actually fights through it. That's the push with possession, the tail end of it. But prior to that, he does a wonderful job.
Duke, 3 man-up goals today. Gutterding from the wing. Conley couldn't catch it and shoot. Conley gets it back. 12 seconds. Conley inside. Loose in front. Gutterding has it.